Hello, everybody. Daniel Feuerstein here for Beyond the 90 as we're going to review the first day of the fourth round of the 2025 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. What an amazing day it was. Only 5 matches, and unfortunately, no cup sets in this first day of the fourth round. But you have to say, there were tons of exciting matches in this round. Once again, only 5 on day 1, but still, though, they packed a wallop. What a wonderful day this was here in the U.S. Open Cup. Let's go ahead and talk about that first one. Seen on CBS Sports Golazo Network was North Carolina FC of USL Championship hosting Charlotte FC of MLS. And boy, what a great match this was in regulation time. You saw great opportunities from both sides. Both goalkeepers were absolutely fantastic. They found ways to thwart the opposition from getting that goal to beat them, and eventually the match would go into extra time. And once it got into extra time, it was all over. Goals were going into the net, and be honest with you, I thought we were going to go into penalties in this one because in the 97th minute, it would be Lil Abada of Charlotte FC that finally broke the deadlock and made it 1-0 for the visitors for Charlotte FC. But out of nowhere, Rafa Ment, if I can pronounce his name correctly, I apologize, Ment Zengant of North Carolina FC equalized on a fabulous goal 2 minutes later in the 99th minute, and we were all leveled at 1 in extra time. Like I said, when that ball went in, I thought we're going to have penalties. I didn't think we were going to get a second goal, but we did. And it came in the 104th minute from, of course, the U.S. men's national team striker, Patrick Ajimong, and he buried his chance to make it 2-1 Charlotte. And from that point on, for North Carolina FC, unfortunately, they were dead and buried. Charlotte FC piled in 2 more goals. The third one from Nikola Petkovic, and that was in the 119th minute. And then in second half stoppage time of extra time, Kerwin Vargas of Charlotte FC buried his chance 4-1. It was already over, but the shouting. And Charlotte FC traveled to Cary, North Carolina, and they got their win at the soccer complex in Cary. It was just unbelievable. Wake Med Soccer Park, of course. Unfortunately, North Carolina FC falling to Charlotte FC by a final of 1-4. Amazing stuff in regulation. I thought once again North Carolina FC might have gotten the win. It was a great chess match of regulation time in the first 90 minutes, but the final 30, unfortunately, for the Cary, North Carolina side, NCFC falls to Charlotte FC once again by the final score of 1-4. And then we go to our nation's capital, a rematch of the 2008 U.S. Open Cup final when DC United defeated the Charleston Battery 2-1 at RFK Stadium, even though I still feel at that time that Charleston did get a legitimate goal to make it 2-2. The offside flag came up, and still, I still felt that goal should have stood, and that match should have gone to extra time. Unfortunately, it did not. But in this one, it looked like DC United was being harassed by the Charleston Battery. And even though the Battery, in my mind, in regulation time, were the better side, DC, I felt, had a game plan to absorb as much pressure as possible, absorb the attack of the Charleston Battery, force it into the extra 30 minutes, into extra time, and right there and then, that's when DC struck, and that's when they took over, and boy, oh boy, did they ever. First goal of the match came in the 98th minute from Jacob Murrell. What a goal it was. Upper far 90. Beautiful bending shot from the near side of the area. And he found the way to finally break the deadlock to give DC United the 1-goal advantage. And then it would be Jared Stroud in the 104th minute to make it 2-0 for DC United. And finally, it was all over but the shouting. Unfortunately for the Charleston Battery, it would be Juan Torres who got a straight red card in this one, and he would be sent off, putting the Charleston Battery down to 10 men in the 115th minute, but it really didn't matter. It was all over. DC United, a 3-time Open Cup champion, advancing to the 5th round. Exciting stuff, fun stuff, and we'll wait and see what's going to happen when we get to day 2 of the Open Cup tomorrow night. And once again, though, DC United, a 3-time Open Cup champion, defeating the Charleston Battery by a final of 2-0. The battle for the state of Tennessee, the Tennessee Derby, as Nashville SC of MLS taking on Chattanooga Red Wolves. And what a run Chattanooga Red Wolves had. And when I say had, it means that they got eliminated by Nashville SC by a final of 1-0. The only goal of the match from Nashville SC, Josh Baker from distance, just probably a foot outside the area, blasted it past the goalkeeper, and that made it 1-0. Nothing else came of it in the goals department. Unfortunately for Chattanooga Red Wolves, they would go down to 10 men. Al Hassan got double yellowed in this one. First yellow came in the 65th minute, and unfortunately for him, his second yellow, then red, came in the 80th minute and put the Red Wolves down to 10 men. Now, it did look like at times maybe Chattanooga were going to get that equalizer and maybe force this match into extra time. But unfortunately for the Red Wolves, and they live by the sword, they die by the sword, meaning you live by winning the penalty shootout, you die by losing the penalty shootout. This time around, it never got to the penalty shootout, and it never got into extra time. Nashville SC advances by defeating Chattanooga Red Wolves by 1-0. But for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, all you can say is this. They did their best. Very happy for them. Good on them. And unfortunately, they just fell at the wrong time. Then we move on to the Rocky Mountains, Colorado Springs Switchbacks of USL Championship, the defending USL Championship League winners. They took on the New York Red Bulls, who had to fly across the country to play at Widener Field. And for the New York Red Bulls, and personally for me, and I hate to do this to you if you're a lower league supporter, but look, I have my MLS club that I do support and cover. The New York Red Bulls defeating Colorado Springs Switchbacks by a final of 1-4. And once again, the New York Red Bulls, they did some roster rotation. Mohamed Sofo earning a brace in the first half. First goal came in the 16th minute. His second one came in the 44th. Norwegian Youth International Dennis Jengar, he makes it 3-0 in the 64th minute to make it once again 3-0. And it looked like the Red Bulls were in cruise control, even though Anthony Fontana did pull one back in the 72nd minute and threatened this match for the Switchbacks. It really wasn't much of a threat. The Red Bulls did reclaim the 3-goal lead. Sean Nealis at the top of the area from the Switchbacks area buries it in the 85th minute, and he made that 4-1 for the Red Bulls, and they will advance into the 5th round. Finally, the last MLS Next Pro side in the Tacoma Defiance. They took on MLS's Portland Timbers. Yes, it is a Pacific Northwest rivalry of some sort. You can say Portland versus Seattle Light, as the Tacoma Defiance is the 2 team of the Seattle Sounders. And at first, it looked like the Timbers were going to basically lead this match in the first half. It was Zach McGraw in the first goal of the match in the 33rd minute. and they held that lead going into halftime. And then all of a sudden, the magic of the Defiants came to light. 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes. In the 48th minute, that man again, the son of an MLS legend of is Dwayne De Rosario, his son, Oazi De Rosario, made it 1-1 in the 48th minute. And then once again, it would be the Defiants who would take the lead to make it 2-1. Yu Tsu Kanome, 2-1 Tacoma Defiance, and maybe, just maybe, we have a cup set in day 1. Unfortunately, not so. The Portland Timbers did equalize in the 80th minute from Gage Guerra. And then you're thinking to yourself, well, we're going to go into extra time and maybe we're going to get some more action. But nope, not the case at all. A penalty was given to the Portland Timbers in second half stoppage time, and it would be Kevin Kelsey who took the spot kick, smashed it in with authority. 3-2 for the Portland Timbers on the road, and that would be the last kick of the game as the Portland Timbers defeated the Tacoma Defiants by a final of 3-2. Once again, Tacoma Defiance 2, Portland Timbers 3. Unfortunately, once again, no cup sets in day 1, but tons of action, plenty of action all over CBS Sports Network, CBS Sports Golazo Network, and Paramount Plus on the app and digital website. Here are your matches for day 2 of round 4 of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the 2025 edition. On CBS Sports Network, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds will host New York City FC at Highmark Stadium. On Paramount Plus, the Philadelphia Union will be hosting Indy 11 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Subaru Park. Rhode Island FC in their brand new stadium will be hosting the New England Revolution, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on Paramount Plus. Tampa Bay Rowdies at Al Lang Stadium will host Orlando City, and that's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Paramount Plus. Louisville City will be hosting Minnesota United FC at Lynn Family Stadium, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on Paramount Plus. The Chicago Fire will be hosting Detroit City FC at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, also Paramount Plus. FC Dallas will be hosting AV Alta FC, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central at Toyota Stadium, Paramount Plus. St. Louis City SC will be hosting Union Omaha, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, Paramount Plus, Energizer Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Austin FC will be hosting El Paso Locomotive at the Q2 Stadium, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central, Paramount Plus as well. And finally, on CBS Sports Network, the 10 o'clock matchup, Phoenix Rising SC hosting the Houston Dynamo, and once again, that will be at the Phoenix Rising Stadium in downtown Phoenix. Once again, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Getting my time zones mixed up, I apologize. Once again, CBS Sports Network. And finally, we will have in California, San Jose Earthquakes hosting Sacramento Republic over at PayPal Park, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, and that will be on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. My name is Daniel Feuerstein. You can join Carter Krishnaiyer, myself, Jonathan Starling, Alex Ashton, Rooster and the Villain, Brett Mullenix, and the rest of the writing team here on Beyond the 90 at beyondthe90.substack.com. You can watch our video casts either here at Beyond the 90 or live on our YouTube channel at Beyond the 90. You can also listen to this as a podcast form at Beyond the 90 as well, including our podcast platforms either at Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Once again, my name is Daniel Feuerstein. This has been the U.S. Open Cup Round 4, day 1 review, day 2 preview show, videocast, and podcast here on Beyond the 90. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you all on Wednesday night for another Open Cup night across America. Thank you very much. Have a good night and take care. Bye-bye for now.